It is 4th of July. Woo, woo, woo. I don't know how my awesome United States awesome shirt on. I love it. Randy got it for me actually a few years ago.
And I have a grit shirt on.
Yeah, but it looks awesome.
Happy 4th.
Happy 4th.
Welcome to a very special 4th of July edition of Talking Reps.
Yeah.
Our sponsor today is different.
Oh, because we do not have Liquid Death.
We don't
or
have
Topo Chico with us.
We don't have any beverage sponsors today, but
No.
we do have today's show is brought to you in part by brunch.
We did have brunch this morning, and we did have good coffee.
We had a wonderful brunch this morning. We went for a walk this morning and had a walk down to Good Coffee in Troutdale.
It was delicious.
And because that'll just fall.
Okay.
And we got to see some friends and had a good conversation about fly fishing, which I would always, I've always said that I would love to learn how to fly fish, but I'm the world's worst fisherman.
Yeah.
Literally the worst.
I was just going to say that, but he is horrible.
I
think that last time he went.
There.
Were we
Weird.
muted for 2 minutes?
I don't know.
Look at how confused your face were.
Yeah.
Anyways, we might have been muted for 2 minutes.
That's so dumb.
Um.
Anyways, let's do it all over again. Welcome to Talking Reps.
Woo!
4th of July.
Yes, we were muted.
That's so dumb. I didn't even see that I muted us. So we are home today, a 4th of July edition of Talking Reps.
Just fast forward those.
Fast forward the first 2 minutes. Joss has her very amazing United States awesome tank top on, celebrating our country's Independence Day.
Yeah.
Best holiday.
Yeah, it's my very favorite.
Yeah.
It's my very favorite. My flag.
Yep, and then our flag in the background. Today's show is not brought by Liquid Death or Topo Chico. It is. We don't have a beverage sponsor today, but we are sponsored by brunch. We went and had a wonderful brunch, and actually we made brunch and had a wonderful brunch here today.
And we walked down to Good Coffee and had good coffee. So
yep,
that's what we said in the first 2 minutes. So now we can move forward.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
Goodness
So we thought it would be fun. We were literally talking about what we should talk about today. And we thought it would be really fun. Chas had a wonderful idea that we should talk about our mission, vision, and values. And so that gave her the wonderful idea to have a 5-part series. So today is episode 1 of 5-part series on our mission, vision, and core values. And today we are going to dive into our first core value, which is courage.
Yes. We've been talking about in the gym, it seems like at least this last week, about doing hard things. And so that's kind of what made me think about, well, this is what we should do, talking about hard things. Which one of our core values is courage, and that's doing hard things. So I've had a lot of talks about that, doing hard things, with my tours and people that have came into the gym. So it kind of seemed like it was a perfect time to do it.
So our first core value, courage. We're just going to read it off to what it is. The moral and mental strength to do hard things with confidence, not because they are easy, but because we change only through adversity. So what does that mean to you? On the spot. Go.
Gosh, you make me so nervous when you do that, and then I can't think. So when we were going through our core values and trying to figure out what we thought was important, and one of the things that I thought was super important was doing hard things. We do hard things in so many times in our lives, but also when we come into the gym. It takes courage. Thanks. It takes courage to walk into our doors. If you've never been a member and you're coming in to do a tour or trying to do something different fitness-wise, it takes courage to do that. It takes courage to come into the gym and look at what the workout is and know like, oh man, I don't know how I'm going to do this, to come to the gym, do it, and know that we can do hard things. So there's so many, courage is just such a huge part of what we do at our gym and what we believe in. So it's one of the things that I think is super important to be one of our values.
Yes. I think, to me, courage is, like Cha said, doing hard things, but making that conscious effort to do hard things, to not settle into comfort, to not settle into easy, to when we have a choice to either go this path, which is easy, comfort, sitting.
That's not on my side.
Because
that can be on your side. Easy side on Randy's side.
And then this side, the difficult side, it's having that courage to look inside yourself and say, self, today I'm going to do what's not easy and I'm going to push myself. Yeah. Yesterday's workout was a good example of that.
Yeah, it was.
There was a lot of self-doubt yesterday by a lot of people. You could see it in their eyes. You could see it in the beginning, in the middle, and the end of the workout. They vocalized it and said, there's no way I can do this. Maybe they were right. But to me, courage is hearing that and not listening to it and pushing through anyways. Pushing through to the hard place, to the dark place, to the pain cave, and knowing you're going to get there and choosing to continue to move through that and walk, run, or bike to the light at the end of the tunnel, which is not death. I'm not saying to die. I'm saying to get through that cave and then on to the outside, which is after all the hard things. So courage to me is making that conscious effort to seek growth and improvement.
Kels, you're doing hard things right now.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
So
the thing that you are doing
there.
right now is hard.
We'll get there. You are doing a hard thing. And it takes courage to allow yourself space and clarity to do what you need to do, not what you want to do, what you need to do. I say a lot of times that we don't need anything. But sometimes what we need to do is listen to ourselves, and that leads to hard decisions, but it also leads to growth and development. So that is our definition of courage. I think a big part of that, again, is that mental strength and resiliency. We talked about it a lot a couple of weeks ago when we had our friends from New York and Washington, Louie and Mitch, come down. Shout out Cow Harbor CrossFit, and the Loop Fitness. We had a little discussion about what it means to be resilient, mental resiliency, mental toughness, and intentionality. And knowing that the decisions that we make, while difficult, they help to create and develop our mental strength and our mental toughness. And every decision that we make, understanding that being intentional with those decisions and patience will help create, again, areas for us to grow as people and members of our community. In some instances, leaders of our community. And I think that's very important. So it's, again, building that mental strength and sustaining that mental strength. It helps to not only create and reinforce our core values inside the gym. And we'll get into what those are, but just for sneak preview, courage, community, and excellence are our core values. But building upon one helps to strengthen the others. And it also helps to strengthen your personal core values, what makes you a person and what's important to you.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Good.
And
That's good.
and it's one of the reasons why you need a chair. The reason why it is like our very first value is because it is so important to us. And it's because what we do every single time. And here we talk about it a lot. There's really, I mean, I could say the same thing over and over again, which is what I normally do. So I'm going to stop talking. No, just kidding. But it's a huge part of what we do as CrossFitters, but also as trying to help other people and just in our life when we have those hard decisions that we have to make. Sometimes the easiest thing to do is to just like, okay, gonna run. I'm just gonna go do this because it's way easier. We don't grow through that. The hardest thing is to go through that hard path. And sometimes it's not very fun. I've gone through that through multiple things in my life, whether it's surgeries, Kels, with my back, my stroke, my neck, my marriage, my ex-marriage, not this marriage. This one's great.
This one too.
This one's great. But I learned from the other one to be better in this one. So sometimes we have to go through those hard things and learn from every single one. And it takes courage to do all that stuff. And we try to support everyone through all of those things and teach them that they can do hard things. They come into the gym and they realize like, oh, I never can do that. And then at the end, they're like, oh my gosh, I never thought I was going to be able to do that. And it takes some time and it takes some mental strength to be able to like, okay, it's going to take some time to do this. We like to have it like yesterday. We want to have our pull-up yesterday. We want to be able to run faster, whatever that is, be heavier on my back squat. It sometimes is hard to be patient and do the hard things so that we can earn those things, whether it's a bigger back squat.
Back squat.
Back squat. Did I not say back squat?
You said Basque squat.
Well, maybe that's just what it's called now.
That could be what it's called now. But yeah, absolutely. 100% agree. Again, yes.
Heck yeah.
That we failed our previous marriages on purpose.
Both of us.
So we could learn lessons.
Yeah.
And not make the same I have made the same sometimes. I've made small similar mistakes that I did in my first marriage.
I get you.
But the difference is now I'm not a raging alcoholic. Mm-hmm. So I'm able to stop being a dumbass and move forward because I love you and I love our marriage. So anyways, but yeah, I think going through adversity, like what you were talking about with your back, your stroke, and previous marriages and all that. The important thing is you spend time learning, you spend time making mistakes and hopefully learning lessons from those mistakes. We can shut everything off and say, this sucks and I'm uncomfortable and I don't want to learn from these mistakes because I'm uncomfortable and this sucks and it hurts and it's pain. Or we can, again, understand that all those times in our lives that are uncomfortable, we have opportunities to learn from them and we can grow and move past.
And that can help other people around us as well.
And it helps us and other people around us overcome challenges. Life is not comfortable. Life is not fair. Life will never be exactly what you want it to be when you want it to be. It's how you deal with life as it's given to you and how you prepare yourself to come out the other side. It's easier said than done. And I'm fully well aware of that. And I don't discount anybody's difficulties or challenges by saying that because everybody's going through their life when they're going through it. And it's easier for someone that has gone through significant hardships or challenges to sit back and say, well, just be better. Just don't let that bother you.
But while you're
Stop crying and grow up.
While you're going through it, it's probably one of the hardest things to be in it. On the outside, on the like coming out of those things, whether it's surgeries or failed marriage or whatever it is, it's very hard while you're in it. Mm-hmm. When you come on the other side, it's so much easier. You have more clarity. It's too emotional while you're in that space of whatever that is. So
yeah, I think making the conscious effort, and what courage means to me is making the conscious effort to do hard work, all in an effort to learn and grow, but also finding and having the clarity to find those decisions and find those opportunities in everyday life, in the gym, at home with your families and friends, and at work. It's hard. It's difficult doing the hard work when it seems that that's all there is. It's easy to give in and just, well, this is just it. But understanding that, again, life throws at us anything at any given opportunity in time, and choosing to learn and grow through that, I think helps us get through those hard times. Leadership. One thing that we try to do at Grit is instill through our coaching team, through our ambassadors, and through everybody that comes into our gym, is the sometimes the honest fact. I mean, there's facts, there's honest facts, there's lying facts. No, the honest truth that being a member of our gym, what we try to instill in people is that when you wear this shirt outside, not in the gym also, but outside, out in the world, when people see you wearing this, Tina was a great example of this. She did on a cruise ship, and she had someone come up to her and tell her, like, oh, you do CrossFit. She wore that shirt with pride. She had a wonderful conversation with someone that does not have a community that they can fully involve themselves with, that they feel that it's not a great, I don't know if it's healthy or whatever, but not a great community. Tina wore this shirt with pride out of the country and is helping someone find a better community for them where they live. When you put this shirt on, you don't only represent the gym. You don't only represent yourself that, hey, look, I do CrossFit. Cool. You represent everybody else that walks into our doors and suffers and gives their all every single day. You represent all of us when you wear this shirt. And it takes courage to do that. And it also takes a little bit of leadership. You might not be in a leadership role, but every time you put the shirt on, you come into the gym, you wear it outside of the gym, you are taking our community with you literally on your back and carrying us through the world. And that takes courage. And it takes a sense of leadership. And we appreciate that. And that's one thing that we try to instill in everybody on a small part. It's no one's responsibility. We just hope that people want to represent our community in a good, positive light.
And it's cool. It's a cool thing to see that our members are out there proudly wearing our stuff, and that, you know, people are seeing them are like, oh my gosh, you go to Grit? Like, that's so cool. I love Grit, you know, and we hear that a lot. So it's really, really neat to know that the community that we have built with all of you guys' help, that's what other people see out there. And it's neat. We are leaders in what we do. And I love it.
Emil, there's always going to be dumbasses. The world is not short of dumbasses.
But you're not one anymore.
No, I'm still short.
That doesn't have nothing to do with being a dumbass.
Chaucy cursed.
I said it really quietly so that no one heard me.
You're not a dumb. No, I'm still a dumbass. I'll be the first to tell you I'm still a dumbass, but I've learned from my dumbass mistakes, and I'm trying to learn to not make the same ones again. So we talked about courage in the community. We talked about the leadership skills that we try to instill in our coaching team, our ambassadors, and in some part to our members as a whole. Chas touched on it earlier, real world examples of courageous leaders in our community. I want to talk about you and Scott, because it takes courage to not only go through what you guys went through with regards to your strokes, but also to come out on the other side, not learning from that mistake. The only thing you can learn from that mistake is that it could happen at any time.
Yes.
There's nothing you can learn from that, in my opinion. But what you guys did was show courage in continuing to try to grow and progress as coaches, as athletes, and to stay and remain leaders of the communities that you both represent. Our coaching team, outside in our competition teams, the competition community, but then even more so with Scott in the underground, in his community in Rockwood, and being a leader for the children out there, the youth out there. It takes a lot of courage to stand up in front of people when the words don't come out of your mouth the right way.
Yes.
And people might not know the reason as to why. People might think, oh, they're just quirky.
Could be.
Man, those people are dumb.
that could definitely be
what's
happening.
That's not the right word at all. And she is dumb.
Oh, man.
But it does. It takes courage to go through that and come out the other side, I think, stronger.
It definitely helps to be able to understand what other people have gone through as well. And know that, like, I get it. I get some of those struggles. Some of them are not exactly the same, but in some sort of aspect, it has been a struggle in my aspect in my life, and it's a continued struggle. And I've learned how to go through certain things. And there's days that are way harder than way harder than other days. Some days are pretty good. But sometimes those days when it just kind of like slaps you right in the face, it's like, okay, this actually happened. So you got to take a breath and see it will be better. And you just learn how to do things differently, but it's a good way to be able to talk to other people that are going through other struggles as well, because you have kind of a little bit of an understanding of that stuff. So it's neat. It's a thing that is neat to be able to help other people in those different aspects if you've never been but never had experience in that.
Yeah, and what you've also learned, and I think, I mean, I'm not going to speak for Scott, but I'd imagine he would agree with this, that when you need that support, you can also lean in on the communities that we've created. That obviously those that do know what happened. I mean, there's new people in the gym that have no idea that you and Scott both had a stroke. And so, but the people that we do know, the people that have been with us for a long time, the family and friends that we have and other communities that we're a part of, taking those communities and leaning on them for support when you need it. Yes, I'm here to support you. Yes, Gwen and his family are there to support Scott, but understanding that although we've created, I think the side effect of creating our community at the gym, we've also created a really great support system for anybody that might need it for any reason. And it was honestly, I think probably from like day 2 or maybe 3, it was a side effect that we never saw coming. I don't think it was like you guys opened a gym, me and Jesse got to come along for the ride, and we were very grateful. I am very grateful for it. I'm not going to speak for Jesse. I think he was probably very grateful for it because he got to sleep with so many people. But I'm very grateful for it because it made me a better person, not a sleazebag. But it was something that I never saw coming. You might have known it was going to happen because you've been in the exercise industry for so long and you've seen the side effects of not only giving people avenues to make healthier decisions and healthier lives, but there's so much more than that. There's so much more that goes into a healthy lifestyle than just working out. It's a space to decompress. It's a space to offload all the shit that the world throws at you, all the garbage that your families throw at you that you're not ready to deal with, that we as professionals in the people business, that part of that business is caring for people not only when they have a barbell in their hand. It's when they don't have a barbell in their hand and they're feeling very vulnerable and they need someone to talk to. It was a side effect. It was a thing that I didn't see coming when we started this 12 years ago.
Well, when we first started, Sarah and I don't know if I knew that it was going to be like this, but I knew that my classes in the regular gym that I took,
the gym that shall not be named.
Well, it was other gyms, but we, like any class that I taught, we came together. Like we would meet all the time and do things like that. And I just assumed it would just be do the same thing with it being our place, not at like a gym and it was my class. This was our place. And for me, I knew that I wanted it to be this nice little family. And it did, and it is. It was then, and it has just gotten more and more and more. I don't know, like when I went through my stroke, I don't know if I knew that it was to the extent of where our family was, our gym family. It was an incredible thing.
Just let it out.
I'm not. I'm gonna breathe. It was a really, 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 really neat thing. Not just in Grit, but the CrossFit community around us in this East County, in Portland, in Oregon. It was really cool to see how they could all come together for one person. And they did it gratefully. They wanted to be part of it. And that's something that's really, really neat about CrossFit. Not just Grit, but CrossFit to come to build together. I do think that Grit has a little bit more special with that. I feel like we have a really, really, really neat community that I don't think that everyone has in their CrossFit space. So I'm grateful for all of you guys.
So much so she's going to cry.
Now I'm going to breathe.
Everything's fine, everybody. Nothing is wrong. I love you.
No, that's good.
I thought of a couple ways that we've created our community and our culture of courage inside of Grit. And I boiled it down to 3 tiny principles or practices to try to help build courage in other communities, in your communities, whatever. I'm sure you all have your own ways of doing things, but things that we've done. And I put my own little spin on it because Chas probably would say it a little bit differently than I did.
Yeah, especially as I'm reading that. I wouldn't say that.
So 3 practical steps for building supportive and courageous communities. In my opinion, step number 1 is be supportive. Showing, again, creating a supportive culture inside your community will help to build courage, not only for people offering support, but courage for people that might not know they can ask for support inside the community. Asking for help takes courage. Offering help, or just offering a shoulder to cry on or an ear to listen, takes courage as well. All that to say, without coddling. No one goes anywhere by being coddled. Anywhere. Nowhere. It's the opposite.
I wouldn't say the word coddle. I do things a little bit different than Randy, obviously.
She likes to coddle.
I don't know necessarily coddle, but I'd like to cuddle. How about that?
No cuddling either. That is not the support system we want to create. Unless we're freezing in the winter,
yes,
and we have to get naked to cuddle to stay alive.
Yes. See? It takes courage to be able to
and
do
body
that.
warmth, body heat.
Let's go to number 2.
Number 2, meet people where they are. Again, it takes courage to ask for help. It takes courage to offer assistance, but also knowing how to meet people where they're at when they're looking for that assistance. Again, it's easy for someone to say that's gone through the fire and came out on the other side to say, just don't do those things. That's not, again, that's choosing the easy path. It's choosing the easy path instead of sometimes digging in to go through.
Ask more questions.
Yeah, ask more questions.
Just ask more questions.
Someone
Giving them that space to be able to talk through it.
Yep. A very wise man once told us that questions push and
answers.
Comments pull. I think. No,
it's the opposite.
opposite. Comments push and questions pull. Meaning that when you just speak out, that you could push people away, right? Let people, give them the space and time and to find their own clarity, and be there to ask questions to further help them get through that process. Again, all that to say, meet people where they are, not where you want them to be. That's my spin on it. It's easy for me to stop people in the tracks and say, again, just grow up, don't ask dumb questions.
Yeah, don't be a baby.
Don't be a baby. It's difficult to sit back and ask how we got there, and
be better.
How we can help you get out of there and into the place where you want to be. And then number 3, allow yourself and others the opportunities to learn and grow. It takes courage for you to learn from your mistakes. It takes way more courage to grow from that, instead of sitting in it and wallowing and deciding, well, it's not going to get any better from here. I've already been to jail. Well, probably go back to jail. I guess I'm just going to keep being a drunk and a drug addict. Or learning from it and deciding to grow as a person so you don't make those same mistakes. Those 3 things: being supportive, meet people where they are, and allowing yourself and others to
learn and grow.
Find those opportunities to learn and grow. I think those are really good 3 pillars of creating a real courageous community in wherever you're at, in my opinion.
I agree too.
Yes.
So it's
yes. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm glad you didn't say, no, that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Other 3 things. Those were the dumb
We're
things.
We're going to cuddle.
New 3 things.
We're going to
cuddle. Number 1. Number 2, we are going to just tell people to be better. We do that, actually.
I do that on a daily basis.
But I think it has also a different spin on it, too.
Number 4, some people need to get slapped in the mouth to be
sometimes
stronger.
They need some
dad love. No,
well,
that sounded bad.
I was not going to say
that. Sounded gross.
That's not what we
They need some old
hard
man love. Hard love, exactly.
Hard love.
To do the hard work.
And be supportive while they go through that hard work.
By continually to break them down.
And not cuddle.
And not cuddle. Cut the cuddling off.
You can do it a little bit, maybe.
I think this is going to be fun. So
we're excited.
Yeah. So again, this is the first part of our 5-part series. It's going to be, we'll do it every first Thursday of the month. And next one, we will talk about our second core value, which is community. And then we'll get through our core values, and then we'll follow up with the mission statement and our vision statement and what they mean to us, and why they're part of the fabric of who we are and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me.
Of course.
Every decision, they're the guiding
microphone.
They're the guiding principles of every decision we make at the gym, in our lives,
yeah.
In our community, in our business, everything.
Yeah. We follow about any decision that we make has to go through our values.
Yep.
If it doesn't fit our values, then we don't do it.
Fired. Axed.
Yes.
So happy 4th of July,
yes.
everybody.
Go watch fireworks.
We're going to go up to Corbett. If anybody wants to meet us up there.
That's what we're going to do.
I don't know when we're going to go to Corbett, but we're planning on going up there to watch fireworks. So.
Yeah. And an AC/DC tribute band. I mean, Thunderstruck. Come on, guys.
We're not doing
burpees. You can do burpees?
No, we're not doing burpees.
We probably won't, but I mean, we could. But it's going to be, we saw them a few years ago before COVID, and they were awesome. They were hilarious.
Was that the one with the grandma groupie?
No, they're the veterans, the old guys. Oh, the grandma groupies were there and follow them around like when they go and play, but the guys are not grandmas. They're veterans. So, but they have groupies.
They have groupies. It was hilarious. It was awesome.
Anyways, so they're supposed to be there, but they have always had we went last year for their fireworks, and they do an awesome, awesome job. Hey, Rick, I haven't seen you in forever.
What's up, Rick? Buddy, we just had Carla in the gym.
Yeah,
she did her CPR class, and she was asking about you and if you're doing well. So we hope you're doing well, Rick. Good to hear from you, buddy. Happy 4th. So that's our plan. If you want to, come meet us up at Corbett. We'll be having fair food Maybe. I
I don't
hope.
know. They didn't have that last year. The
No, they
food
didn't.
Was last year was not.
I'm going to get
We
4
were
pounds of
really-
French fries.
Yeah, we were really hoping that was going to happen. It was not.
Remember we showed up without eating?
Yeah, it was bad.
And we're like,
choices.
oh, we'll just get fair food. And showed up there and there was nothing.
Yeah, it was bad choice. But
I
they
was
had
so mad.
amazing fireworks. They had amazing fireworks. So
Side tangent. I don't know what's worse, being hungry and not eating anything all day to go try a new restaurant that turns out to be garbage, or being hungry and then going to a place expecting to get food and having no food.
yeah, he was not happy. We actually we had to leave and go to Albertsons, and he got just some gross like sandwich that
A
was like
stupid
packaged.
plastic wrapped deli sandwich.
And that's what he ate instead because he was so mad up in Corbett that they didn't have enough food last year. We had to go to
I forgot all about
Safeway.
that.
He was so mad. So we did that, and then we went back and had a little blanket and watched the fireworks, and it was awesome. So,
I totally
anyways,
forgot all about
tangent.
Yeah.
But we're gonna let you guys go enjoy your 4th of July with your family, and if you end up going to Corbett, text me.
that. Don't text me. I don't care if you go.
Bye, guys.
Wait, hold on. Wait, hold on. Wait.